Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to my next GameMaker tutorial. This is going to be a GameMaker tutorial on the Perfect Platformer. It's going to be part 2, so we're going to add double jump into my Perfect Platformer. Now, if you haven't seen my Perfect Platformer tutorial yet, I'm going to put a link right here. Be sure and go check that out because that is definitely a prerequisite to this. I'm using the exact code and objects from that to start this video. So there's already a working platform game here, working platform code. We're going to add double jump into it. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is come in here and whoops, that kind of went onto my other screen here. So come into the create event for the object player, and we're going to add a variable called air jump, and I'm going to set it equal to 1. And the reason I'm using a 1 here is because potentially you could give them 2 or 3 and they could jump in the air 2 or 3 times. So that's why I'm not calling this double jump, I'm calling it air jump. So, and they've got 1 for this example. So let's come into here, into the step event, and then into the physics for the step event. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is inside of the check for the ground, there's going to be an else in our check for the ground, and it's right after this gravity. We're going to hit enter twice. I'm going to scroll down a little bit just so we can have it higher up on the screen. And we're going to do check for air jump. And we're going to do if air jump, that's the variable we just set, is greater than 0. So if we have some, if j key, that's our jump key, v speed equals negative j speed, which is our jump speed, air jump minus equals 1. Okay? And then close off the curly brackets on all of those. So this is just saying if we're in the air, right? Because we're applying gravity, so we're in the air. If we're in the air and they press the jump key and we actually have some air jumps, then jump and subtract from the air jump variable. So that's pretty easy, but we need to set the air jump variable back to 1 when they're on the ground, or back to whatever it's going to be set to, right? So that's going to be right here. You can see if place meeting object solid y plus 1. That means we're on the ground. So right after this, we're going to do air jump equals 1. And some of you might have noticed that I already did an air jump tutorial, a double jump tutorial, and I took it down. And that's because I'd put this right here down right here in the vertical collisions, and it worked like 90% of the time. And I'm not going to explain why it didn't work 10% of the time because it gets a little complicated and there's not really a need for it. But if you put it here, it will work 100% of the time. That's why I'm redoing this video. So the air jump should work now. Let's actually run the game and make sure that I'm not just making stuff up. And after we test this with just 1 air jump, I'm going to try and test it where they have 2, where the air jump is set to 2. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's go in and look at my code real fast and see what's going on. My guess is that it's somewhere in here. Okay, if air jump is greater than 0, if jump key, oh! Also, you have to change jump key. It's at keyboard check right now, which is not good because it will air jump immediately after jumping. We want this to be pressed. So keyboard check pressed for the jump key, and that's going to fix this. If you don't do that, then you're going to have issues, and it's going to overcomplicate things. So as you can see, my double jump didn't work. So, but after we do this, I want to try it with 2 and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so you can see we've got an air jump, and this time it will work 100% of the time. There won't be any little glitches with it not working. Let's go in and let's change this. Set this to 2, air jump to 2. And we'll also want to set it to 2 in here when he hits the ground, or else we'll only get a jump twice one time, and then every other time it'll just be a double jump. So let's try it, make sure it works. Yep, so I've got 3 jumps and then it won't let me jump anymore. But I can get clear up here now in this game, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, that's going to be all for this quick tutorial video showing you how to double jump. I'm going to do some more stuff with this platform example, maybe like a wall jump and some other suggestions that people have mentioned. A lot of people have asked me for some sort of a random world generation similar to Terraria, so I'm working on that. That's going to be a complicated one, let me tell you though. So I'm trying to keep that simple. Those are some of the plans that I have in the making, but be sure and like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, share it on Twitter. That always helps me a lot when you guys share it on Twitter. And you'll notice there's a link in the description for the perfect platformer tutorial. If you want to go check that out, you can as well. Like I said, that's a prerequisite to this, and I've actually made the download, the code to download for that perfect platformer, so go download that if you haven't yet and you'd like to try it out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.